Yeah, what is going on, everybody? Man. It's your host Rob, finally back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. It has literally been, I think, almost a month. Yeah, man, listen. You know, the reason why I do this show is to promote positivity and to give motivation and encouragement to those out there who may be going through whatever it is that they may be going through. And I'm going through it, y'all. It's for what it could be. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? But I am a bit shaken up. I'm going through quite the ordeal. And I think one of the hardest things about it is that I can't talk about it. I'll give a little bit more details soon, or in this episode rather. But yeah, I just really wanted to let y'all know that I'm not gone. So yeah, well, we'll get into it. A couple things before I get into headlines. If the sound quality isn't what you all are used to, I apologize. I had to switch up my recording setup. I did do a little test run. It sounded okay to me, but this isn't my normal setup. But I do have a quality mic, so it should still sound good. So if you hear some distortion or things are a little bit off, please forgive me. All right, front page news, or not front page news, headlines. Look at me, I'm stealing people's stuff. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. All right, there are headlines for today, man. Number one, those of you out there, y'all know I like to get y'all to invest. Well, this is as of Saturday, September 3rd. Amazon stock is at $128. Google stock is at $108. If you're an avid follower of the show, you know those two stocks actually split, so they reduce the price so that more people could gain access. This is that time, man. If you are new to investing or don't know much about it, one, I highly recommend you do your own research. Always want to do your own research. That's number one. Number two, Google and Amazon aren't going anywhere. No, I can't see the future, but those of you listening, you probably used Amazon or Google today. You probably use them every day. So now's a good time to get in on those stocks for cheap. So why not take advantage while you can? The other headline, which is a major headline, which is something I'm going to give my opinion on in this episode, is student loan forgiveness. So President Joe Biden is living up to a campaign promise. Some student loan borrowers can get up to $10,000 worth of forgiveness, and others can get up to $20,000 of forgiveness. Those of you who are qualified for up to $20,000, you had to have had a Pell Grant held by the Department of Education. Please, 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 please. If you want to know more about this, go to studentaid.gov/ or / whatever that thing is, debt relief. Actually, you can go to the US Department of Education.com, and there is a link at the top that will take you to studentaid.gov, and it will tell you all about the student loan forgiveness. That is going to be a huge thing that I talk about today. Also in there, something that I think is just as important as that is they're trying to reduce the amount of I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Here we go. So income-based repayments, they're trying to reduce that down from 10% of your discretionary income to 5%. That will be huge because I know some of us are trying to do our thing and do the right thing and actually pay these loans back. And those monthly payments based on income, they're high, man. I know a lot of people paying $400 or better. So to have that cut in half will be truly, truly, truly helpful. Those are your headlines. All right, so before we even begin, I didn't even get a chance to announce this, which sucks. FMEpodcast.com, ladies and gentlemen. FMEpodcast.com, ladies and gentlemen. FMEpodcast.com is live. The podcast website is up. We launched it, but I wasn't able to record to promote it and talk about it, which sucks. But FMEpodcast.com is live. You will see featured episodes. You will have links to all of our social media. You will have links to our most recent guests. You can listen to the podcast on there. And one of the things I really, really, really want y'all to tap into is the blog. We have a blog. Shout out to Erica and myself. We are the writers of that blog, and we're going to be writing about a variety of topics. And we want y'all to chime in the comments and share your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. The blog is something that we're going to try to definitely update once or twice a week with just new things for y'all to read about. And I want to get y'all thoughts and opinions. So we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff on there. So really hop in on that blog. We're going to build it out. There are more things to come. Okay. Also, if you want to support the show by donating to us, there is a donate button. You can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, debit, credit, whatever you want to use to donate to the show to help us keep the lights on. That would be really, really, really appreciated, especially now with what I have going on. And again, I can't give details about it, but I'm going to talk about it right now. So FMEpodcast.com, check it out. Please share it. Let your friends know and hop in on that blog. And also don't forget the Instagram, FME. What is my Instagram? Yo, I'm sorry. I'm having... I'm having a day, y'all. FME_podcast. I knew that. All right. Yeah, the Instagram, FME_podcast. There's a Linktree link. So you can shop with our affiliates. That is another way that you can help support the show. Actually, if you click that link, everything will be there. A link to our website, our donation link. You can join the Facebook group. You can invest in gold with Acre Gold. You can shop with Garner's Garden, who sells 100% organic products. And you can create your own custom forms with Jot Forms. And learn anytime, anywhere with Listenable. So if you want life lessons or just business lessons or any type of lessons that you can listen to on the go, there's Listenable. So those are all those links. All right, now, so Rob, where the heck have you been? You sound flustered. You sound crazy. You don't sound like yourself. What is going on? I have a legal situation that I'm dealing with. All I can say is that I have a legal situation that I'm dealing with. That's literally all I can say because everything is still pending. So I have, in the last 2 weeks, woo, man. In the last 2 weeks, I've had to, me and my girlfriend had to pack our lives up and move. That move is completed now. And I'm out here looking for another job. That's all I can say. Thankfully, she has a job, so that's good. But yeah, so that's my life right now. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm very transparent on here. Y'all know I tell y'all everything. But because things are pending, that's all I can say. I will also say this: nobody was involved, nobody was hurt or anything like that, and I wasn't physically harmed. But that's all I can really say about it because, as you know, anything you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. So let's not incriminate ourselves like the millions of other people that we've seen doing it on social media and all these other platforms. That's all I can really say, man. So I'm really just trying to keep it together, y'all. My life literally did a 180 in a matter of seconds. I felt like I was reaching the Apex. So many things were going good. I mean, we just came off of International Black Man Day. Shout out to Dr. Ashley Dash. Shout out to all the wonderful, powerful black brothers that I had a conversation with. Make sure you follow National Black Man Day on all social media platforms. Check us out. Shout out to Monica Reed of the Black Family Magazine. We collaborated with them this year, and that was wonderful. We put out a great magazine. Dr. Les Brown was featured on the cover, and we have a book coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. You heard me. Black Man Unmuted. You can get, if you go to Amazon right now, you can get the free Kindle edition, and you can pre-order your physical copies, Black Man Unmuted. I am now co-author. Where's my round of applause? I am now a co-author. I've actually wanted to be an author for a long time, and that was really special to me. So many things were going well, and then poof, it happened, and my life got flipped over, turned around, couldn't record, trying to figure things out, shuffling and scrambling, and this is what I want to share with y'all before I start talking about this student loan thing, my personal situation. One, thank you to everyone in my circle of family and friends who showed up. I made a few phone calls. I was like, yo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And people showed up, and they really helped out, and they really stepped up. And I want to thank every single person involved in helping me and my lady get through, part one of this situation. That's first and foremost. Number 2, on this show, I talk a lot about, and our guests talk a lot about, and you've probably heard on social media yourself, just saving, investing, and preparing, because you just never know what's going to happen. And we went through that with COVID. COVID shut the world down. People were out of work. People had to work from home. We had to figure out a lot of things. COVID sparked me saving and investing automatically at that. $20 here, $30 there. And let me tell you, y'all, it saved my ass. Like, it really saved my ass. Like, when this happened and, you got to figure things out financially, it felt good and bad. It felt bad because I'm like, dang, I got to liquidate savings. But it felt good because there were savings there to actually liquidate. So I was able to pull some money together, look at my bills, look at how much money I had available to me, and say, okay, we can float for a little minute. Now, it's not what I prefer, and it's not a long time, but it's enough to where that I think things will be resorted and solved, to where I can move forward the way that I need to move forward. I'll say that. But I ain't sitting pretty. I'm not rich, but my investments definitely are going to come through for me, or have come through for me, and that was a huge stress reliever, because like whenever something goes wrong, the first thing you think about is how I'm going to pay for this. That's like, unfortunately, like before I could even feel and really internalize what I was going through and what I'm going to be facing, the first thing that came to my mind is like, how I'm going to take care of these bills. Reason being is because I moved up here to the DMV area in 2019, and things weren't good for me, man. Like, I barely had any money. My credit wasn't where it needed to be, and I just had a lot of stuff that I had to get in order, because I took a shot and invested in myself, and in my opinion, it didn't work out the way that I wanted to, but I took the shot. So I spent 3 years really reversing my fortunes, got my credit up, paid things off, saved money, started investing, started pretty much really getting it together in a lot of aspects of my life, personally and professionally. And then, you hit a roadblock, and it's like, man, I spent 3 years putting all this together. I don't want it to fall apart. So that is probably why my thoughts were, all right, how am I going to pay for this and maintain that? Because, if you've ever had bad credit or just been bad off financially, you know how hard it is to get anything done. You can't get a credit card, you can't get a loan, you can't buy anything. Like, it sucks really bad. So when you get on the other side of it and people are throwing money at you, not that you take it and do anything stupid, but it feels good knowing that you have options available, viable options that aren't going to break your bank, that aren't going to break the bank, and that aren't going to hinder you moving forward, like reasonable interest rates and things of that nature. So thank God for that. I'm very, very thankful that God kept me and God gave me the opportunity to, get my life together. And I believe God is going to see me through this situation. And I just want all of you all to please keep me, my family, my friends, my lady, keep us all in prayer, and pray that we get through this situation. But back to the point, man. That is why I talk to y'all about like stocks and investing. And shout out to D Williams on Boy Demise. I got a life insurance policy that, God forbid, if I have to borrow against it, I can borrow against it and use that as well. Just those investments, man. If you aren't investing and saving and putting away some type of emergency fund or something, do it, y'all. I mean, something as small as Acorns. Acorns is an app. I should post my link, but I don't have my link posted, but whatever. Acorns is an app where you can automatically put money aside. I think the minimum is $5. You can put money aside. I automatically was drafting $20 a week, and I recently have bumped it up to $25 a week into Acorns. And what they do is they take the money and they invest it in whatever type of portfolio you want. You can have a mild portfolio, you can have an aggressive investment portfolio. It's very simple. You can set it all up in like 10 minutes. You don't need to know anything about stocks or anything like that, right? And I've been doing that for a couple years, and I've had to tap it once before. But and just me being transparent, when I looked, when this situation happened, and I was like, all right, we're gonna have to liquidate funds at $20 a week for the most part. I looked and I had $1,000. Boom. And that felt good. That's $1,000 I didn't have to worry about. It was $1,000 that I saved so passively that I didn't even miss it when I was investing or saving. It was just $20 a week, and that's not a ton of money. You're talking roughly $80 a month. But if you, that's you eating out once or twice. That's you not going shopping. That's you not going crazy on Amazon. It's not a lot of money, but over time it adds up. And it, my portfolio has some gains. So I had some profit in there too, man. And I hated to clean it out, but I was like, boy, I need you. And that's the other thing too. With Acorns, when you need your money, it's a couple of clicks, and in 2 to 3 days, you will have your money. There's no long forms. There's no hassle. None of that. Like, when you ready to get your money out, boom, you click the button and you get your money back. Now, I also had some stocks I had to liquidate too. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out and just remind y'all that anything can happen, man. And I don't wish anything on anybody. And you just never know. Like, I couldn't have told you the situation is crazy. Like, when I tell y'all the story after this is over and resolved, if I can talk about it, y'all are going to be like, wow. And yeah. So when things happen, man, you want to be as prepared as possible. And that doesn't mean, oh, I'm thinking the worst and I'm preparing for the worst. You're just preparing in general. It don't have to be this extreme. It could be a car issue. It could be a repair on your house. It could be a family member needing something. Anything, man. So that is why we promote positivity. That is why I give y'all the same tips and tricks sometimes. And that is why I share my own experiences. We all go through stuff. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. And anything can happen to anyone at any time. The other thing I really had been doing, and I thank God for this, I've been really leaning on my podcast. I went back and listened to episodes, reflected on conversations that I had with past guests and things like that. And it felt good because all those words of encouragement and reflecting on my experiences and reflecting on my guests' experiences really lifted my spirits and kept my spirits lifted, because I know people, and I've spoken with people on this very show, that have been through way worse than what I'm going through. Way worse. And they're on the other side of it. They made it through. They got past it. So I'm like, if they can do it, I know that I can do it. And they were on the show and they shared what they did and how they got through it. And now that information is out there for me to utilize it. Didn't think I'd have to, but here we are. You know what I'm saying? So that felt really, really, really good. And I just thank God for guiding me on this podcast journey. I thank God for every single person who decided to give their time and to be open and honest and to share on this podcast, because not only is it benefiting everyone that's out there listening, it benefited the host. So there you have it. And again, if you want to help your boy out, you can donate to the show, fmepodcast.com. There is a donate button. I didn't put a set amount. You can give $1, you can give $2, you can give $100, you can give $50, whatever. Anything you give will be super duper helpful to help me keep running the podcast and to take care of some other things. We have some things we want to do with the podcast. They're going to cost a little bit, not an astronomical amount, but going to cost a little bit. And we setting some things up because I want to add more value and I want to build a deeper connection with the audience. So we're going to be doing a few things here in the near future. So if you would like to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. Also, again, FME_podcast on Instagram. The Linktree link is there. If you click that Linktree link, you can shop with our affiliates. We get a little kickback from there. And also, once again, interact with our blog, man. fmepodcast.com. Please interact. Read those blog posts. I'm going to be posting blog posts from my personal blog that I did years ago, talking about some of the situations that I've been in and some of my thoughts and feelings. And I'm putting the original post date up there so y'all can see when I wrote it. And I want y'all to chime in on that. I'm also going to be putting newer content up there as well. But I figured, why not pull from what I already have? Because that stuff was never really out there. Nope, and not very many people saw it. So I'm like, let me put this out there and see what people think. And then, of course, Erica will be posting things as well. All right. So that's my life right now, man. I think at the current moment, I will still be able to put out an episode every week. That is my goal. If anything changes, I will update y'all. So, yeah, I will officially say that we bike. We are back. And I do have a couple of people I need to reach out to. Shout out to Fola Bronco, who was just on the show. He was the last guest I had. We got to do a part 2. So Fola, if you're out there listening, brother, I got you. I'm going to hit you up soon so we can do part 2 so you can finish sharing your amazing story. Oh, man. Okay, y'all. So one thing that has kind of been getting under my skin a little bit, it takes a lot to get under my skin, is the student loan forgiveness that Joe Biden is putting out there. I'm hearing a lot of people who are, they're pissed off about it. Don't like it. Talking about how it's a drop in the bucket. It's not really going to do anything for their situation. But I also know a lot of people to where that's exactly what they need right now. Some people are like, man, $10,000 ain't nothing. $20,000 ain't nothing. There's two sides to this coin. Now, I'm just going to give my opinion. Number one, I am one of those people where $10,000 to $20,000, I'm still either or. I think I qualify for the 20, hopefully. Even if I get that, I'm still going to owe a significant amount of money in student loan debt that I'm going to be paying off for a while. That's just the facts. But I ain't mad at it, because at the end of the day, if you are one of those people who's trying, and this is one side of the coin, if you're one of those people who's actually serious about paying off your loans, that's $10,000 or $20,000 less you have to worry about. Period. Whether it's less money you have to worry about. Now, some of y'all, I don't know how much debt you have. Like, if you got over 100,000, I'm like, what are you doing for a living? Like, hopefully you out there getting it. But that, at the end of the day, that's what he said on the campaign trail, and he's delivering. I mean, I don't know what y'all want. Now, some people want total and complete forgiveness. Here's the rub with that, and here's like the 50-50 part of it. On one hand, would I love to have my loans completely forgiven? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to have their loans forgiven? But I feel like something's going to happen at the back end because we're thinking about it from a borrower perspective. Yes, as the borrower, who wouldn't want their debt forgiven? Who wouldn't want their some part of their financial freedom back or that stress taken off their shoulder? Who wouldn't want that? Duh, right? But what about the lender? What if you were the lender and these loans are being forgiven? How are you going to be made whole? Because you're not getting your money. It's being forgiven. So something's going to have to give. Like, you can't just come in and say, all right, yo, you ain't got to pay it back. Well, bro, I lent out millions upon millions, if not billions of dollars. What you mean is forgiven? What do I get in return? Because I'm not getting my money now. Now, the other thing is, we are, as borrowers, we are in different situations and circumstances. Some of us were victims of predatory lending. Some of us were. Some of us were just uneducated, which that's a whole nother topic, which I think that should be addressed in the junior and senior year of high school about loans and the importance of scholarships and grants. That should be pushed heavily if you plan on going to college. That's a whole nother conversation. But some of us took that money and did what we wanted to do with it. Y'all might not like that, but let's be real. Some of us were up in a bookstore buying TVs, CDs, drinks, snacks, talking about myself. All this, you spending the money on stupid stuff that you don't need, or over borrowing because you had enough money to cover your room and board and tuition, but you're like, oh, I can get extra? Yeah, let me go on this trip, blah, blah, blah. So some people out here acting like they are victims when you're not a victim. You did it. Granted, you were young. You were ignorant. You weren't thinking about it. You might have been told some things like how the forgiveness program works, even though the forgiveness program sucked up until now. And we played a part in it. There are a group of people where you played a part in it, and now you screaming and complaining, but you were the one who signed the papers and took that money, and you weren't complaining when you got them refund checks. You weren't complaining. You was out there big balling, shot calling. You weren't complaining then. But, people don't like responsibility. That I'm sorry, y'all, but that's the reality of the situation, and that is one side of the coin. Okay? On the other side of the coin, as a borrower who will benefit from this forgiveness but still have significant debt, I understand why people are upset. Those of you who don't have student loans may not know this or understand this. A couple of things are impacted. Number one, the monthly payments are high. I really hope that they reduce the income-driven repayment plan down to 5% of your discretionary income, because sometimes your monthly payment is $400, $500, $600, $700 a month. That's a lot of money. If you're not making upwards of 80 to 90 grand, that's a lot of money. Unless you have zero debt, you don't have a house payment, your rent's reasonable, you don't have a car payment, you don't have any kids, all that kind of stuff. But that's a lot of money that you're going to be paying for a long time. Also, don't quote me on this, but when I was last in the real estate industry in South Carolina, your total amount of student loan debt, they would take 1% of that and add that in as part of your debt to income ratio. So they would basically say, all right, if you have $100,000 in student loan debt, we're going to take 1% of that, which is $1,000, and we're going to add that as a monthly bill as part of your debt to income ratio. That disqualified a ton of people from buying a house. A ton. Don't quote me on that. I might be off on my math or numbers, but it was basically a percentage of your student loan debt counted towards your debt to income. That I know for a fact. And it disqualified a ton of people because now what you make versus what you're putting out don't add up. And it looks like, even though I know there's forbearance and things like that, but it looks like they're assuming if you paying all your bills like you're supposed to, you can't afford this house. So that's another reason why a lot of people need and want forgiveness, is because they can't do other things that they want to do, like buy a house, because this student loan debt is hanging over me and it is counting against the things that I need to get done. Another reason that I would love for full forgiveness, and I understand why people are fighting and want more than 10 or 20,000, is because of inflation. Everything is more expensive. Rent is absolutely redonkulous. In the area where I live, I don't think I've seen anything for less than $1,600 a month. Like one bedrooms, $1,600 a month. That's a lot of money. If you're not making about 80 grand, between 70 and 80 grand, you hurting. Especially if you only got one income. You hurting. And that's just rent. That's not groceries, utilities, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. So the issue comes in because inflation is here, but your salary ain't inflated. So people with jobs, part-time jobs, yeah, people are talking about, oh, part-time jobs paying $13, $14 an hour. But yeah, how many hours are you getting a week? And then if you are salaried and you have a career, it wasn't like they said, oh, well, inflation is here. Here's a 10, 15% raise. No, our income historically in this country, our income has never kept up with inflation ever. So the world is getting more expensive, and we are, for lack of a better word, are getting poorer because our dollar is stretching far less than it used to. That is another reason why wiping out student loan debt would be absolutely fantastic, because that $300, $400, $500, $600 a month on payments is now going into my pocket so that I can take care of myself and my family. So I get it. There are people out there who are victims of predatory lending. There are people out there who only have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of debt, and this will do wonders for them. I forgot the percentages, so I'm not even going to try to quote it, but they were like, for those people who qualified for either the 10 or 20,000, a good chunk of them would have no debt after this. So there's that. So it's going to benefit some people greatly, but it's some of us, like myself, it's cool. I'm not mad. Let me get that 10, 20. Let me get that. I'm good. Thank you. That's less than that I have to pay. I have to figure out the rest. But if you want to go ahead and forgive it all, I will take that as well. But again, there's a couple sides of that coin, y'all. And, everyone is not the righteous. Everyone's not the righteous person who deserves the forgiveness. And, oh, it's not right, it's not fair. I don't know what you did with your money, and I don't know, your situation with your lending. But at the end of the day, our society is hurting. It's expensive, it's costly, and honestly, 100% forgiveness, even if it's 50%, 60%, 70% forgiveness, I think would be helpful to the economy as a whole. Because we'll have more discretionary income to take care of the things we need to take care of. That's just a fact. I didn't say this, but the student loan pause, in case you've been under a rock, the student loan payment pause is extended through December, at the end of this year. So repayment is not supposed to start back until January. So that's just my 2 cents on the student loan forgiveness. It did get under my skin that I saw a lot of people complaining about it. Because I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what your situation is, but you complaining about something that somebody's literally giving you that they don't even have to give you. That part. But I understand why you mad. I do. I know how much I owe, and I know there's people that owe 2, 3, 4 times as much as what I owe. I know people that owe upwards of $150,000. So $10,000 is kind of like, you saving me $20 a month. Thanks. So I do get it. But think about it this is my opinion. I look at it from all sides, and I'm just thankful to get something. And if we want more, let's fight for more. Let's continue to speak out. Let's formulate a plan and put it out there, because I think they are looking at doing more. But I don't think it's as easy as a snap of a finger, because you can't just wipe out billions of dollars of debt and just leave the lender high and dry. Can't do that, because they did lend the money. Not all lenders are predatory. So what do they get in return? Because they're not getting their money. Because if that was us and we lent someone a bunch of money and somebody said, oh, well, their debt is forgiven and you not getting the money, you're going to want something. Let's just be 1,000 wow. You're going to want something. So I don't know what happens on the back end with that. And that'd be interesting to see. Oh, man. All right. Message to the black brothers for the day. Black brothers, strong brothers, educated brothers, handsome brothers, dapper brothers, debonair brothers, creative brothers, artistic brothers, all of my brothers. To quote one of my fraternity brothers, yo, brother Marvis President, be encouraged. Be encouraged. And when I hear that phrase and I see his clothing line and things of that nature, be encouraged means just hold on to that positivity and think positive. And as I shared earlier in this episode, I'm going through a situation. My life was flipped upside down, but I'm still here. I'm still recording, and I still have a lot to look forward to, and I'm going to continue to look forward to it, and I'm going to do what I have to do to work through this situation. But I'm going to be encouraged, man. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to remain positive. I'm going to invite more positivity. I'm going to keep my social media positive, the people around me positive, and just continue to lead with positivity and promote positivity. It's a daily battle, but guess what? I'm winning, and I'm going to keep winning, and I want y'all out there to win. Also, check in with one another, man. Shoot a text message. Make a phone call, send an email, see what your people is up to. And on a more personal note, continue to support one another. And when I say support one another, y'all, it takes 5 seconds to hit like and share. A lot of times what separates us from success is not being either in the right rooms or what we have to offer not being in front of the right person. But when we network and we connect and we share, the more we share, the more it's out there, the more people will see it, and the closer it gets to being in front of whoever it needs to be in front of, so we can make it to the next level. I've been having a bunch of conversations with some really close friends about just support and how we all need to just do a better job of supporting one another. And the most simple way to do it, y'all, just share. Like and share. Exposure, man. Exposure. There are plenty of people out there who are hungry and that will do the work and won't ask you for a penny. They just want exposure so that the right person out there will see it and give them a shot. So keep that in mind. The last thing I will leave y'all with, download Pastor P's app. Download Pastor P's app. Download Pastor P's app. The link for the Instagram page is in my description. I just posted a video on my personal page for y'all to look at on Pastor P's app. I uploaded my first recipe of French toast. I had a video on Facebook during the pandemic about me making French toast just to make people laugh during COVID. And I chopped the video up and I put it in Pastor P's. It's actually really good. So if you actually want to make French toast, there's a few recipes in there. So shout out to the creator of the app, Carl Van, took a vision, brought it to life, and now Pastor P's app is here. So go ahead and download that app. Get your family on the app. Start a family cookbook and share those recipes. There are a lot of things coming down the road with Pastor P's. I'm going to continue to push and promote the app because I believe in the app. It's a fun app. It's a great app, and it's a relevant app because I can't speak for your family, but food is highly important in my family, and it's one of the things that brings us the closest together. Thanksgiving, Christmas, any special occasion, we all about the food, and I want those recipes preserved. And the beautiful thing about the app is you can record yourself or whoever the chef of that recipe is. You can record them in 60-minute chunks, so that God forbid, when they pass away, mama, grandma, auntie, uncle, cousin, friend, whoever it may be, you will always have the memory of not only just the recipe, but you can actually see them. And if you're the one that's cooking with them or recording with them, that's a recorded memory that you can pass down from generation to generation. So when you actually say, like our parents probably said to us, oh, your great grandmom or your granddaddy, they used to make this. And not only now, you don't just have to say it, you can say, here, this is your grandfather or your grandmother or your aunt and uncle making this. Let's make this. And they can add their own little special messages in there as they're cooking to let whoever knows watching, like, I love you, this, that, and the third. So beautiful app, revolutionary app. I love it. Pass the Peas app. Please go download it, man. Support the app. Follow us. You can also donate to that campaign as well. Those links are out there and available for you, and I'll put that in the description as well, man. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Ooh, boy. Oh, man. Yeah, thank y'all for the continued support. Again, I want to thank all my family and friends and loved ones for continuing to support me. Thank y'all for continuing to listen. We have a website now, man. We've been at this podcast thing for many years, and now we have a website. And I've been moving methodically and slowly on purpose. Part of it was procrastination, but mostly purpose, because I do believe in ownership, and I own every single piece and part of this podcast, top to bottom. So if somebody wants to come at me with a deal or wants to negotiate something, I don't have any roadblocks. And that was very, 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 very important to me. Okay? I want the right opportunity, not just any opportunity. So I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, man. And if you're going through a tough time out there, you are not alone. Go back and listen to some of these podcast episodes, man, and get you some encouragement. Call your strong friends. Call your aunts, uncles, and family. It's okay to say, hey, I'm not having a good day. Things of that nature, man. It is okay. I believe in God, and if you believe in God or trust in the higher power, make sure you are praying and make sure you're doing your part, man. We always say God is good and God blesses us, but what are we doing? Are we doing our part? Make sure you're doing your part, all right? And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.